Hey guys, Joel here from American Survival Co. and I have a really cool knot I want to show you. So in a previous video we discussed how to gain some purchase so we can get our ridge lines up nice and high, and I showed a bushcraft chair. It's a simple little A-frame basically, bipod with a cross member, but I stumbled upon this knot. I call it the Jimmy variation of a Canadian jam knot, and I've used it ever since, especially if I'm in a hurry and I just want to get something done quick and I want to conserve what little cordage I may have on me. So let me bring you in closer and we're gonna relash this cross member on our ladder, chair, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna remove this and start back from square one, but all we really have to do is whip up a bipod. Like here's one leg of the bipod, here's one leg of the bipod, and throw on a cross member. So now that that's free, we're gonna jump in here. I'll try to bring you in a little bit closer. If you already know a Canadian jam knot, you can apply it in this way. We're tying it the same exact way. We're just doing a little variation to it. I call it the Jimmy variation because he's the first person I ever seen mess up a normal Canadian jam knot in this fashion. And literally I was like, oh my goodness, you are a genius. Thank you so much. So shout out to Jimmy if you're watching. Come on back, we miss you, man. So follow along. Get your cord out and get your stuff and practice. Practice, Johnny. You gotta practice. Right here. The normal application of a Canadian jam knot goes around something, or we might do it right here or right here on this axis. And it's essentially just a slip knot with a stopper knot on the tail. See, this part right here is what it slides on, and this part right here is what I'm calling the tail. So the Jimmy variation basically accomplishes what we want to do when we're doing a traditional lashing with our wraps and our fraps, but it does it in a jam knot style. So I'm gonna, let's call this a spar. So with this spar right here, I'm going to come over the top. The rest of my line is just hanging down on the ground. This comes over behind this one, over, behind, see how that's behind? Let's trace that again. It's going over here, behind here, over, under, and then we're going to tie our Canadian jam knot right here. Now if we imagine this being one piece, right here where my thumb is where we're going to do our Canadian jam knot. This is already still attached to the reel and I don't want to waste cordage, so I'm just going to tie my jam knot like this. I got it looped around this line, coming in. There's my slip knot portion. Just like that. And this is the portion that it slides on, so that makes this the tail. And we just need to add an overhand knot for a stopper knot right here. And I like to leave a long enough tail to grab onto if I have to take this off and use this cord for something else. So from here, all we have to do is ratchet this and make it nice and tight. And it's going to ratchet this way. Make sure that's still in the frame. And now I can really bear down on it and get it nice and tight using my body weight. So I tied it in that fashion just because it's still connected to the reel, and what this does is it allows me to use the precise amount that I need to get the job done. So I oftentimes find myself, you know, tying a Canadian jam knot in several different ways. There's like 3 ways I kind of tie it, depending on the application and the need for speed. But there's a lot more to this knot stuff, and you'll really understand that if you actually apply it and practice it in your life. There's ways to be efficient at it, but this is what I call the Jimmy variation, or the the lashing variation. And I'm going to take you around here and look so you can see the back side. Really useful, but as far as the strength, I would stand on this all day long. And strength. So as far as a quickie option, it works. Would I bet my life on it? No. Use a traditional lashing. That they're meant to be weight-bearing lashings. They take a lot of cordage and they have more strength. But if you're in a pinch or limited by your cordage, it's definitely something that I would consider. And it's just faster and easier. That's why I joke around, if you ever come to any of my classes, I call the Canadian jam knot Frank's Red Hot knot, because I put that beep on everything. But there's so many different applications for it. If there's one knot that you can do a lot with, it's that one, and it's very simple to tie. So hopefully you got something out of that video. We'd love to have you out for classes and training. If you're in our area, check us out. And if you're not in our area and can't make it out to a class, check out Flint and Steel Critical Skills Group. It's another organization that we're proud to be a part of, and the whole reason for this collaboration is so that you can have vetted, trusted, super skilled survival instructors, all across the country. So there might be somebody even closer to you, so it costs less for you to train and get this knowledge. So check that out as well. And until the next video, guys, I'll catch you later.